Only on 11 Alive, a first look at the preliminary results of water, soil, and debris tested in the aftermath of the BioLab fire in Rockdale County. 11 Alive News investigative reporter Savannah Levins obtained the data from an independent tester's lab and shares with a college professor to help make sense of the results and areas of concern.
In the days following the chemical fire at BioLab in Conyers, we met environmental advocate Scott Smith. At the request of worried nearby residents, Smith collected various water, soil, and debris samples and tested them at an independent lab.
So you can see that this polystyrene foam and that was ash and soot.
Now the preliminary results are in.
And this is 48 pages.
Samples taken from a recreational pond owned by the VFW within 1,500 feet of BioLab raised the most concern.
We found volatile organic compounds that really shouldn't be in water. A lot of them cause cancer. And dioxins bioaccumulate in your body. They don't go away.
Also within the early results, a soil sample from a residence near the fire.
There was not really detectable levels of these dioxins in the soil sample.
Along with ash from a nearby car windshield.
There were some detectable levels on the windshield, but they seemed, from my understanding, to be kind of comparable to what we would expect for kind of a major city.
11 Alive News Investigates brought the results to Dr. Stephanie Ike with Emory School of Public Health to interpret what they mean for those who live or work near BioLab.
The data that you provided, that really helped answer some of those questions.
Ike confirmed the dioxins found in the water sample are linked to negative health impacts.
So some of the short-term health impacts that we would expect from dioxins is watering eyes or irritants. It could be a skin irritant. Could also be like coughing fits or more frequent like asthma attacks or COPD if you have some of those underlying conditions. In the long term, some of the health impacts could be developing different types of cancers as well as reproductive impacts and developmental disabilities.
And she says those impacts go beyond the immediate exposure to the chemical plume that lingered in the air for days after the fire.
They're very persistent in the environment, and what I mean by that is that they could last for many years.
Still, she says more testing is needed to determine which dioxins can be linked to the fire and what the public health impacts may be.
We need public health infrastructure who can really be on the ground in real time and to be able to get samples and answer a lot of these questions immediately.
An EPA spokesperson told 11 Alive News Investigates during its early response to the fire, the agency set up dams to stop flow from the VFW pond to Almond Creek and the South River, saying it continually monitored the water quality, which indicated the dams were effective and kept out runoff from the fire. The day after the fire, the EPA and state EPD did find dead minnows in the pond and aerated the water to remove any chlorine or firefighting runoff products, emphasizing confidence that levels are now within state quality standards and no drinking water was impacted. The agency did not provide the actual water monitoring data we requested.
There's hopefully a call for public pressure to really make it so that we can get better data.
Those preliminary results account for only about 10% of all the samples collected. Smith also gathered samples of soil and crops, which you're seeing here. Residents say these went from healthy to dead in the aftermath of the fire. We'll share those results with you when they come in.
By the way, to read more about the report, you can find this story on 11alive.com. It is in the feature tab.